Hello everyone. This class is about effective communication process. The process is very important, and we can discuss a lot of it. As we always say, communication is important to build up the team, to build up a relationship between people. It can't be replaced by electronics or any new technology. Um, Before communicating, you should think of the purpose why you are communicating, expressed as a message to be conveyed is needed. Then it passes between sender and receiver. The result is understanding each other, receiver and in here we have the sender and we have the receiver. The sender have a message. That message he encoded in tashfir, in special words. Then the message goes through the channel. Channel could be a microphone, could be face to face, could be a meeting, a telephone call, and then the receiver decode بفك الشفرة. In between there is a noise that could hinder يعني يتأثر على المسج, well, there's a feedback from the receiver that gets to the sender, and in that case the receiver becomes a sender, and the sender becomes, because he received from the receiver, so they exchange rules. Here we start with the sender. Encode, شفر, messages. Receiver already have it, and then he encode his answer, his feedback. Then the message is going through, and then the feedback is right here, and it goes to the sender. Okay, this one actually is very clear. I like it. Communication process. So we start with source, encoding the message, the channel, and decoding, and the receiver, and the feedback. Okay. طيب. Persuasion, the role of persuasion in communication. Persuasion could be defined as the process through which people select, organize, and interpret a sensory input to give meaning and other to the world around them. Persuasions mean إدراك. If the receiver have a good persuasion about the message, he will give a right feedback. When senders and receivers communicate with each other, they are doing so based on their own subjective perception. يعني السندر بيبقى عنده إدراك معين بيحاول يوصله، والريسيفر بيحاول يفهم، ولازم يبقوا subject معين. The encoding and decoding of the message, تشفير وفك الشفرة, send even the choice of medium. يعني أنا هستخدم أنهي وسيلة عشان أتصل، بيوضح. Persuasion influence everything right down to how we interact. The ultimate goal of communication is to act as impetus or catalyst for an action or change sort of pattern. When we communicate, we try to understand a subject, or we have to agree about something. Business communication is more complex, as non-spoken words can imply different meanings. You could be in a business meeting and your looks, your smiles, your gesture, and your body language gives a lot. Your facial expressions, تعبيرات وجهك, your intonation, هزة راسك. One's perception one's perception greatly affect how they think. يعني لو إدراك الشخص مدرك إن الرسالة صح، هو يعني هتأثر على فكره. It is critical for manager and personnel to understand that is how something is said that can change the context. يعني اللي احنا بنقوله بالطريقة اللي احنا بنقولها بتؤثر على المينينج. طيب. Um, what is interpersonal communication? Communication includes exchange of concepts, مفاهيم, ideas, feelings, data, and information or between two or more people. Non-verbal, verbal. There are several examples. يعني كويس. Each of these examples result in divergent pathway action if something is not understood within the context. لو حاجة مش مفهومة هتغير نظام العمل. Elements of influence that influences interpersonal communication. Each of these elements influences interpersonal communication, and it must be understood so that the communication principles can be leveraged effectively. Communicator, message, noise, feedback, context, channel, all these points are affecting the interpersonal communication. Non-verbal type of interpersonal, non-verbal and verbal. Non-verbal, which is not words, but it could be by tone of the voice, by facial expression, الإيماءات الإيحاءات صوت التون بتاع الفويس. الverbal face to face meetings by phone and so on. Barrier to effective communication: filtering, selective perception, emotions, extreme emotion, language, stereotyping, status, difference, use, conflicting. بالنسبة ل overcoming the barriers: feedback. The selective perception of receiver should be minimized through people feedback, because if the feedback is correct, then he understood. Accuracy. There should be accuracy in the message transmitted between two people. Clarity of the message. The message should be clear, practical, accurate, and without any secrets, ambiguity, غموض, من غير غموض. Communication of organization philosophy. طبعا فلسفة المنظمة. Efforts have to be made in the planned way to synthesize people with the organization. They should understand their organization philosophy. Flat organization structure. The organization should have clear cut and simple organization structure. It should be flat. It shouldn't be tall. The organization structure, الهيكل التنظيمي يكون بسيط. Division of labor and organization policies minimize semantic problems. Thank you so much.